So my TED Talk is about the syntonic nature of birth and being. And to understand this little known word, syntonic, I anchor it into the definition of syntonic being highly responsive to our environment, in harmony with one's environment, and consistent with one's personality and beliefs. I believe this is the key to our health and well-being. It's the key to getting birth right, to raising our children right, and to living in a world in which we can be in harmony and continue as a race with all the wonderful different species in it, because this concept applies to the cellular level, to the biological and emotional, physical level, and to the global level. The derivation of syntonic is the word Syntonic, which breaks down to mean to draw tight or to stretch. This is the action of the muscles of the uterus when we give birth. You have muscles that are needing to draw tight to open the sphincter muscle of the cervix for the baby to pass through. And the sphincter muscle, whose job is to draw tight to keep the baby in until it's safe to give birth, until it feels comfortable, that has to open and stretch at the same time as the longitudinal muscles need to pull that up. I have a little image here. These need to work in harmony, just as the bicep and tricep need to work in harmony when you bend and straighten your arm. We have opposing muscles throughout our body, and they need to work in harmony. And if they work against each other, which is often the case in medicalized birth and fearful birth, then that is when people tire, the muscles tire and fatigue, and the tension brings pain, and it all goes a bit tits up. It becomes not a pleasant or empowering experience. But my message is it doesn't need to be that way, and it goes beyond birth. It goes into raising our children who have a powerful imprint on their psyche of the period inside the womb and birth and the first few weeks of life after birth. That imprint determines our personality and our beliefs. Have we been born into a safe world? Can we trust or not? Am I loved? Am I wanted or not? It determines how we show up in the world. It determines everything. Then you have, as Maria Montessori observed, the absorbent mind of the first 6 years of life. So 0 to 6, children are downloading everything, the good and the bad, the tangible and the intangible, the seen and the unseen, the heard and the unheard. All the Wi-Fi technologies, all the anger, all the love, the good and the bad, all the mess, all the dysfunction, or order and discipline. They're downloading all of that. And that too determines their personality and beliefs and how they show up in the world. And then you take it onto a health and well-being level, into adulthood for life. We attract what we believe to be true. And what we surround ourselves, if we accept that we are electromagnetic beings living in an electromagnetic world and functioning on a certain very, very low frequency, but we're surrounding ourselves with these wireless technologies ever more addictively, ever more reliant on them, that are functioning at way beyond, way higher frequencies than we are designed to survive on. Sooner or later, dis-ease lack of harmony manifests in our body as illness. And I want to bring it down to the work of Bruce Lipton, cellular biologist, who describes so clearly the function of the cells and how once upon a time we thought that the nucleus of the cell, the center of the cell, was the brain. And now we know, thanks to his work, that it's the membrane. It's the very imperceptibly thin membrane that surrounds the cell that has receptor proteins for being the antennae for picking up on everything in the environment, and effector proteins within the membrane. And the two together allow things from the environment into the cell and allow toxins out. It determines the energy production of the cell. It determines what happens to the DNA of the cell, and everything within our environment, including our thoughts and beliefs, never mind these high frequency technologies, determines what happens to that cell. If you remove the cell's receptor and effector proteins, the cell dies. Even if you leave the membrane intact and you remove just the receptor cells, the antennae, then it can't take food in. And so it's effectively, the cell is comatose. If you keep the membrane intact and remove the effector proteins and leave the I can't think with this phone going, the other proteins, then you're still comatose. What does that say for our lives if this is on a cellular level for every single living organism on the planet? And then you take this onto a global perspective of how to look after our planet, that we need to live in harmony in order to survive, for all of us to survive. It's a profound, profound message. And Bruce Lipton equates the receptor proteins as awareness. They are the antennae, interpreting intelligently everything in its environment. And the effector muscles is action. The protein is action. We need awareness and action to be alive, to live and thrive. Without both, we are comatose. We are defunct, impotent. And this is my message, that I want to spread the awareness of this holistic approach to living, to life, to birth, to health and well-being, to our children's development, and to the true potential of each and every human being on this planet, of what we can achieve if we can live in harmony with our environment, including our mindset. If we have awareness, we must take action. Once we have awareness, we must take action. Without awareness, and only taking action without awareness, we are effectively comatose. We're sleepwalking as we are as a society into the abyss, into dis-ease in a seriously big way. The chronic illnesses exponentially rise in accordance with the exponential rise in these wireless technologies that surround us and impact all of us, and particularly fetuses and young children, who are most susceptible. If we have the awareness but we take no action, we are also impotent, comatose, defunct. So we must share awareness and take action, and together we do have the power to make a difference and to live more in harmony with ourselves and with our neighbours and with the planet. Awareness and action is the take-home message.